Welcome to BuildingCredibility.com, Treasure Valley's most insightful construction resource. Meet the builders that influence design and innovation of homes across Treasure Valley. Listen in as they tell their story, differentiate their companies from other builders, and tell us why we should buy a home from them. Stick around. Good afternoon, this is Trey with BuildingCredibility.com. Today we are in Hillsdale. If you're not familiar with Hillsdale, if you were to go from State Street and head towards Emmett, you would find Hillsdale on your left just before you headed down the hill to Emmett. Is that right? Yes. Pretty good. Today we're visiting with Doug Lasher of Lasher Construction, and we're going to spend some time learning about his company and figuring out if we should buy a home from him. So first, let me introduce Doug Lasher. And Doug, if you could take a moment and please tell us about how you got started in the industry. And Doug's got a great story, by the way. So I've been visiting with him before we actually hit the record button. So stick around here and let's figure out about Doug Lasher Construction. Doug, tell us about your story.
Got started in the industry. I was young. I was still in high school. It's a family-owned business from the early 70s, and I helped my dad, whether it was finish work, whether it was framing, did all the industry, clear through high school, clear up to college. As I started going to college, I became a foreman for my dad, actually running his business.
What was your major in college?
It was construction management.
Nice. And then you just continued to work for your dad, and he started piling on the work. And so Lasher Construction evolved into Doug Lasher Construction about how many years ago?
In 1994 is when I took over myself from foreman and actually started running my own business.
And how long have you actually been in the construction industry? Because a lot of people, evolved into construction, whether it was from just a career change or opportunity, but you've actually done this since your dad was probably making you walk.
Yes, I actually was doing it when I was young, cleaning jobs up and burning trash, but that's what I've done my whole life. Our family has done this our whole life in the construction field. I actually started myself as actually running jobs and being on the construction decision making and stuff in about 1983. So that's a long time ago. I've been doing it myself, like I said, with my own business since 94.
So one of the things, if we could, I'd like to maybe talk about what makes Lasher Construction different from other builders. So one of the first things that's pretty obvious is you've been walking and talking about all this for 25 years. But tell us what makes Lasher Construction different from other builders, besides your experience.
Well, first of all is, again, going back to my experience, is my knowledge. I think it's different because I think I have a lot of knowledge about building houses. Second of all is we are a small family-owned business. It's me and my wife and one employee, my foreman, and I think we're a lot more one-on-one with the customer. I think it makes it a lot more personable for the customer with me.
What's your wife's name? Because I met her and she's very nice.
Lasher.
You should stay married to her. She seems like a wonderful person. I actually, here's a great story. I know who your foreman is because my son is, although a second grader now, his first grade teacher was Miss Shannon Murdoch, and that is your foreman's wife.
Yes.
And oddly enough, the first time I met you over the phone, my son had spent the night at your foreman's house. So it's funny how small the world is. But tell us about Brian and what Brian's job is and how he relates to the customer experience with Lasher Construction.
Brian Murdoch, he's my foreman, and he's worked for me for 12 years. So we think alike, makes it really nice. It makes his personable, he's really personable with the customer too. Because of that, he knows what I like, my decisions. Brian is as knowledgeable as probably any foreman could be, and very, very good personality, and really all of my customers really have good things to say about him.
One of the things that makes you different is you're a small business, and in particular, it's basically you, your wife, and Brian. But how is that a benefit to your clients?
Well, I feel that's a benefit because from the day that I sit down at my table with my customers to the day I finish the house, I feel like it's a lot more one-on-one. I think that the customer from the day I sit down, for the knowledge that I give to them and for what they give to me of what they want to build, I feel like they get the product that they want at the end.
I can tell you this from my experience and all the places I've been and all the research I've done. Meeting the builder is a huge comfort zone for your clients. So I can't tell you how comforting it is to your clients, just so you know. But anyway, one thing about today, we're actually meeting up in Hillsdale in Doug Lasher's home. His clients get to come here and do business. This is a beautiful home. Actually, I think Doug Lasher's home was featured in one of the advertising campaigns that's going on for one of his suppliers right now. But if you were to come and do business with Doug Lasher today, he would invite you in his home, and you'd probably go sit in the kitchen. And is there any better place to do business than in someone's kitchen? So, Doug, tell me a little bit about the client experience in terms of them coming in for the first time and meeting you. I know you've mentioned that one of the things that separates you is the personal touch, and I think meeting in the kitchen is something that is pretty cool. But I know you also mentioned that one of the things that people always mention when they come back and say I'm ready to sign on the paper is that they were impressed with your knowledge. So tell me a little bit about sitting at the kitchen table and meeting Doug Lasher. What am I going to learn?
Well,
I guess
to start out is I've been in the field again with my experience my whole life. Not only am I just a construction manager or a construction management as a builder, but I also have done on-the-job work my whole life, meaning I have knowledge about pretty much everything on the house, clear from the foundation, through the plumbing system, through the heating system, answering people's questions about their house of what fits, like what would fit in their house the best for the application that they're trying to get. I don't know that, the knowledge, I guess, that I have, I try to pass on to them to help them make the right decisions of what they should do in their home.
Perfect. I think that's great. I have a final question for you. This is a question most builders have a tough time answering, but if you could, tell me, why do you think someone should buy a home from Doug Lasher, Lasher Construction? And if you can tell us that, I think that's a tough one to answer.
Really, it just goes back to everything we've just talked about. Really, I think I have more experience, more knowledge than a lot of competitors would have. Really just the small business with me, my wife, and my foreman. I think it's just a lot more of a personable relationship from start to finish, clear from the day we draw the plans to the day they move into the house, and I feel like it makes customers a lot more relaxed.
Perfect. Tell me this. Tell me some of the subcontractors that you work with.
On the subcontractors, I work with. I use all the same subcontractors for every job. That gives me a whole lot more quality control. I don't open the houses up for bid. I have my same subcontractors I use for every home. I think you get a lot better quality control, and you get a lot better warranty. The subcontractors are a lot more willing to fix things because they work for me daily.
I think one of the other things you told me that makes Doug Lasher Construction different from other builders is you and Brian communicate via the internet quite a bit, and he emails you pictures, and you all discuss problems right over the phone. So tell me a little bit about how that works, and it's just, I've never heard anyone say that before, and you hear about it in stories and on the media, but I've never met a builder that actually did this kind of stuff. So tell me a little bit about that.
What I do is Brian's one-on-one on the job every day, all day. I am when I can get out, but when I am in the office working, because you've always got office work, Brian actually carries a laptop, a scanner, and a printer in his truck. And what he actually does is when he's out on the job and he has a question to either ask me or something to show me, he keeps a digital camera. He takes pictures of the home, downloads it, and actually sends it to me. We can talk through the pictures right on the phone, and I can give him a decision without ever having to guess or waste time. I'm able to answer questions immediately to keep the job going. And the quality control is so much better because I don't have to have something either come to me on an email or explained. I can actually visually see it. And we do this daily, and we use email quite often with pictures. So
that's great. It's Builder 2.0, we're going to call you.
Yeah.
We'll call that the theme of this podcast. Thank you for sticking around today. This was Trey with BuildingCredibility.com. We've been talking with Doug Lasher of Doug Lasher Construction. And if you'd like to learn more about Doug Lasher Construction, you can also visit his website at LasherConstruction.com. Doug's phone number is
286-0600.
area code 208, of course. And we thank you.